SCDS encourages belonging in a couple of ways. First, just our community values and what we believe in as a school and what we tell students when they arrive and how we treat them. We also, in our curriculum, encourage belonging by making sure that our curriculum is representative of the students who are in our classrooms and the world that's around us. Lastly, with our parent community and the education work that we're doing. So the parents are also working to educate themselves, and we also provide educational opportunities for our parents.
At SCDS, in the time that we've been there, they've sort of doubled down on this commitment to being authentic and really finding solutions and really finding ways to promote an environment where diversity, equity, and inclusion is a priority for the school.
We work to really make sure that we're thinking about how are we including students, families, people who aren't necessarily here right now, making sure that just because someone isn't here, we're not thinking about them.
From admissions on down, there's DEI work being done. It is presented to prospective parents, and then it's also employed in the school by teaching the curriculum from K through 8.
Synapse is a program that integrates concepts of diversity, equity, and inclusion and social emotional learning.
We have time set aside every week to dig deep into these Synapse units.
We establish a sense of trust in the class by really allowing students to be vulnerable and ask all kinds of questions.
If you're looking at someone, can you tell what religion they are?
No. I mean, sometimes.
Sometimes, why sometimes?
Because somebody might have like a cross necklace.
Yeah, somebody might have a cross or a Star of David or a hijab.
It's really important to prioritize a lot of time to build community and build relationships and develop a sense of belonging. Once we've built that community, I think that's when I start to see students really feel safe to open up and share their ideas.
Whenever it's a festival for one sort of culture that she knows that someone in our class has, then she puts up a small slide about the culture. And if you have something to share about your culture, then she lets you do that in Synapse. When we were learning about cultural and identity appropriation, we made a poster of how to avoid doing that.
I wish I had these skills as a kid. These are things that I had to learn as I matured, and I wish somebody would have gave me these tools as a young person.
They're developing different social emotional skills and integrated with concepts of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then also really understanding different facets of their identity.
Identity, to me, it means the different things that make us all unique and make us who we are.
The word identity means how you perceive yourself and how you want other people to see you.
Well, identity means to me who you are. I'm 11, so I'm still testing out who I am. If you feel like you weren't exactly who you were meant to be, when you were born, identity means so much to you because I don't feel female. I feel non-binary right now.
Students can kind of let their guard down a little bit in Synapse, feel supported in being completely themselves.
It's a lifelong journey, thinking about who are we, what makes us who we are.
One of the ways that I encourage students to be vulnerable is through sharing some of my experiences, being the child of immigrants and establishing a healthy sense of self and really being proud of my family background.
My parents were both born in India and so were my ancestors as long as I can remember, but I was born in America.
Since my parents moved from China to the US, I'm trying to find a way to keep practicing Chinese culture because I love it a lot.
But one thing that's not easy for me to explain is how I'm both American and Indian. And I don't exactly know which one is part of my identity because they both are.
I would like to find a way to encourage the kids to speak out more on these tough issues. I can understand it because even as adults, it's still tough to have certain conversations.
So an example of a way that parents partner with us and us with them is through this organization that started on our campus by parents called Ripples.
The tools that I've gained in Ripples is a lot about confidence, understanding that you do need to have these conversations about race early on with your kids. As a parent who is still sort of fumbling through how to talk about these things with my son, I feel like that Ripples really has given me the space to sort of explore how to talk about those things with him.
I think it's really important to normalize having those conversations around race and difference. When we go out beyond the walls of the school, we're going to continue having those conversations.
They're in a space where they feel like their voice matters, that their opinion matters, that they're able to have the power to make a change in the world.
So I want to take these tools to teach them that you can learn in this class, but you can apply it to every part of life and not just what we learn in school. I want them to take it outside the classroom.
To be an inclusive community means raising our cultural competency as a group of people, parents, students, employees.
I think the school has been really helpful for me to explore cultural identity. They've also taught me ways to express my opinions in ways that I probably wouldn't have been able to do before.
Kids are very open, they're very engaged, and they're very eager to learn when they're in an environment that's conducive to learning.
What's next for SCDS? For starters, to have our campus more fully reflect the community that's around us racially and economically.
I think that Ripples really changed that for us. It changed our view of the school's authentic intentions to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Seattle Country Day, we love learning about other people, that it's a really safe place and that there are so many fun things and so many new people to learn about.
I feel like my experience with SCDS has been really good. I would say it was really easy for me to fit in. Everyone kind of accepted me for who I am. And if they didn't at first, then there was some classes to teach them too. I would say it works really well.
As a school, we want to make sure that we are being mindful and inclusive and decentering those kinds of dynamics that make people feel like they don't belong.
We want to encourage new families coming in to be a part of these conversations because they're building their experience from the beginning at the school, just like we were.
You know, there's nothing easy about what Seattle Country Day School is doing. There's nothing easy about what our parents are undertaking and what our students are engaging in. This is hard work, but it's good work. I do see this, and the board does see this, as part of what it means to educate children and to be a fine institution that is providing an excellent experience for our children, is to do this work. As difficult as it is, it's important. And I'm really proud that our school community is on this journey.